Least common multiple. Well, for least common multiple, I think it would be useful to know what multiples are. I think the easiest way to think about multiples, or one of the easiest ways, is just to think about how we learned our multiplication facts earlier. A lot of times when teachers are teaching us the patterns for multiplication, they teach us to skip count. When we skip count, we're listing the multiples of a particular number. So let's say we were going to skip count by 2's. You would start off by 2, then go to 4, go to 6, go to 8, go to 10, 12, 14. We're skip counting by 2's, and by skip counting by 2's, we are listing the multiples of 2's. And when we're listing multiples of 2's, since numbers never stop, they go on to infinity, we can never list all the multiples of a number. They would go on to infinity. So when we think about, so we know what multiples are. That's taking a number and skip counting, and by skip counting we are finding the multiples. So if we want to find common multiples of two numbers, those are numbers that they simply have in common. So let's say we skip count by 5's or list the multiples of 5's. The first multiple of 5 is 5. The second multiple, 5 times 2, is 10. The third multiple, 5 times 3, is 15. The fourth multiple, 5 times 4, is 20. And then we can just continue on skip counting by 5's. And just like with the 2's, they go on and on and on. Well, if we want to find the common multiples, we simply have to look at the numbers that are found in both lists. Well, I look at the 5. I don't see any 5's in the top, but I look at the 10. 10 is a multiple of 5, and 10 is a multiple of 2. So that is a common multiple. Are there more? Absolutely. 20 is a multiple of 5, and 20 is a multiple of 2. That is another common multiple. So if we wanted to list some of the common multiples of 2 and 5, we could express that, or we could say that 10 and 20 are common multiples. If we want the least common multiple, all we have to do is look at our list of common multiples and see which one is least, or the smallest. When we go back and look at our list, our list contains 10 and 20. Which one is the least or the smallest? That would be 10. So the least common multiple in this case would be 10. You might be asking yourself, what in the world do we need least common multiples for? One of the most important things that we use them for, or the most common things that we use least common multiples for, is when we're adding two fractions and we need a denominator, a common denominator. We often use least common multiples to find those common denominators.